Hey Libras, and welcome to your September 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And I am so proud to have you guys here with me as I celebrate the year anniversary of uploading videos in the format that I do right now. And it's been an amazing ride, and I hope to continue being able to provide solid content for you guys to help on your spiritual journey. So as I feel that Libra is on some kind of journey, some kind of very profound path has opened up to you, and you are experiencing life in a way that you probably never have before, or you're coming into a place where you regain faith in something that you never thought was available to you. New avenues, new directions open up in your life this month as the eclipse came in August 21st at a very harmonious angle actually to your Libra energy, in a way that you gain new options, new opportunities, but at some kind of price. There is some kind of element of painful transition that really rewards you during this time. There is an aspect of needing to step away or step back in a new way that you never have before, learning how to walk away, learning how to implement the most constructive structures in which you can walk away from things. A new attitude towards endings in general seems to open up to you. I feel that some of you are starting to place more emphasis on endings, starting to really prioritize the way that you close out chapters in your life versus the way that you begin chapters, as Libra is very much a middle ground type of sign. So your beginnings and your endings can get a little bit foggy and convoluted because you find most of your energy in the mid chapters of your experience. So you are definitely getting more emphasis on endings and closings, but there is something that needs to be devoted towards beginnings and towards becoming more oriented towards your beginning. So there's just an interesting interplay happening there relating to the chapters in your life. The way that you start new projects, the way that you close out old projects will definitely be something that's changing as you become more unbalanced in a way in September, it feels to me. And it's through some kind of unbalance that you actually understand what balance is. I feel that balance has been a very skewed thing. You rule that concept. The concept of balance is a Libra theme. So you inherently at the soul level have more of an idea of balance than any other sign. And it feels to me that you are understanding that the most balance exists in that which is unbalanced. So there's definitely a whole new philosophical undertaking happening, as I think that I'm being very much a Sagittarius. When I'm reading for you guys right now, I feel very philosophical and I feel like it's very abstract what I'm saying. A lot of things in September feel very abstract. A lot of things feel hard to put your finger on. And that's directly because of the solar eclipse that happened. We're new people at a DNA type of level. We are different. We're different beings because the strength of the eclipse that happened in nearly a paranormal way took something out very clearly of our lives, eclipsed something out of our lives, and quickly replaced it. And I think that a lot of humanity is struggling to understand what it was replaced with. We're still catching on to that. And we're actually forming that in September. It feels that it's actually already been formed, but we're defining it in September. We're making our intention clear of what was eclipsed out, and more clearly what was put into our lives during the month of August. So that will be interesting to see what it becomes for you, Libra, because I think that it's something that motivates you more than it does a lot of other zodiac signs. I think that you are wanting to be somewhere else. You are needing movement, and stagnation isn't working so well. Some of you can benefit very much from staying still during this time, but I feel that the majority of you need some kind of movement or need some kind of new territory to find new motivation in. You guys have a lot of cards that represent moving, that represent changing your surroundings, and that represent walking on new turf and walking away from old turf. So that's an interesting thing to see because you guys have been very still lately. And even if not in the physical way, you've been very emotionally still, or you've been very needing of stillness. And that changes in September. You need something new and you need something profound to deal with, as your emotions are undergoing a really big evolution right now at a cellular level. And it feels like if you stay in the same place or you stay in the same train of thought even, you slow down that process a lot. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start looking at your reading from the week-to-week perspective and see what more comes forward. In the first week, you guys have 8 of Cups, tutored down by Queen of Pentacles reversed. This is where you walk away from something, and I think that this is where it kind of starts to click for you that the eclipse happened and something has left my life, and now it's time for me to reintroduce something, because there's a lot of void. There's a lot of energy that is feeling like it can't be filled. So I think that you start a journey in the first week to fill the void, to find out what can I use all of this space, energetic space within me. In what way can I use it? In what way can I make it into something that I need for my life? Because Libras have been very filled by other people's energy. And that is your sign. You are a Venus-ruled sign. You have a passive nature. So you tend to be very attracting of people who want to really invest something in you, of people who want to use your space to create energetic just energy, to create new energetic patterns, really, is what it comes down to. So you're actually coming into a place after the eclipse where you're doing that for yourself, where you can now invest in yourself and you can invest energy within yourself. I think that you are still empty in the beginning of September, because you're prolonging that with the aim to make sure that what goes back into you energetically is what fulfills you authentically. So that's really nice to see from you guys, because you've been really struggling with self-deprecation, self-dialogue, some of you. So it's nice to see you prioritizing yourself in this way. There is some kind of new organic means that can accompany you walking away right now, that can accompany this end in chapter. You have the Queen of Pentacles reversed, so it says that maybe you're trying to force it, or maybe you're trying to force things to change, or not be satisfied with the changes that are happening and needing a different kind of change. It's like, I feel that changes are inevitable for you guys, but you want to be in the driver's seat of how that happens, which is good. But you also have to pair that with something that is intuitive as well, and something that fits harmoniously in with what your structures currently are. And I just feel that with Queen of Pentacles reversed, there's a tendency to not consider what's organic or what is growing naturally, and to try to artificially implement some kind of idea or some kind of new purpose. I'm feeling like you're lacking purpose a little bit in September, and that's just because you haven't found it. That's just because you're so open and you're so vast in some way right now. And I think that a lot of the problem is it's like you're kind of clipping your wings a little bit, and you're kind of not allowing some new beginnings to take place until you find that purpose. It's like you want to find the purpose and you want to find what you are going to accomplish and then start the journey. And it's like maybe that's been happening for a while now. Like you've been sort of being still, and you've been choosing to stay in one place and choosing to sort of lay low until you get the purpose. But you're realizing that the purpose comes from taking a leap of faith. You know, and you realize that you're not going to find the purpose if you just keep laying low. So you have to make a very spiritually powerful decision this month in September, Libra, where you choose to take a chance and know that your purpose will find its way. And it's really a beautiful message. I feel like one of the more beautiful messages this month is like you are supported. You are energetically supported to take a leap of faith and to understand that your purpose will be where you choose to leap. That's really beautiful, because you're in the second week here. The Fool reversed, you're down by Temperance. You know, you're blocking and inhibiting your ability to take a chance. And because you think that you're not a worthy investment of chances or risks or gambles. You know, you're that Libra, you're going to weigh out the options, and if the balance doesn't come, then you're going to choose the responsible decision in most cases. And Temperance is there as a symbol of peace and a symbol of tranquility within the new chances, within the new possibilities, within taking a risk. And it's not an energy of gambling. Gambling is not the right word. It's like a calculated risk. And I don't really feel that there are actually a lot of you who have some kind of really huge gamble or risk that you have to take, but you're really kind of like denying yourself possibilities or opportunities potentially. Also, this could be being input upon you because you are Libra, so again, that passive energy that experiences vicarious emotions. Perhaps some of you are married or in a relationship with somebody who isn't allowing themselves to take risks, and in that way it's also inhibiting you, and it's also not allowing you to take these risks. And you know, there has to be like a trial period of time. It's not that you have to leave them or you have to end the relationship right here and now, but you've got to know, like, if by the end of September you're feeling inhibited and you know that this is not going to be transcended anytime soon, you've got to jump out of the nest. A lot of you Libras, that's really what your energy feels like to me, is like a baby bird trying to like take its first flight or something. And it's like you're choosing not to. You're choosing to stay in the nest because it's comfortable. But at the same time, you know that you have to leave, you have to get out. And you are very divinely supported by that. Which is interesting to see for you guys because you felt so unsupported. And I think that really could be one of the ways that the eclipse came in for you, is a feeling, such a strong feeling of being not supported and feeling, or very supported in a surface way. Perhaps that's being eclipsed out and replaced by something that's a bit more wholesome. In optimum situations, that's what I feel for you guys. The second week, there's also a need to prioritize your health and your well-being. Changes in lifestyle would be good during September. More water, alkalizing your body more, less, I don't know, unstable chemicals going into your body, less like, less caffeine is good during this time because you can, and far be it from me to tell you that I have a terrible coffee problem, but I feel that there are worse addictions to have. But still, I mean, caffeine is not the best thing, especially in large amounts. And it's like small things. It's not that you guys are like terribly unhealthy. That's why I think of like caffeine or something. It's like really small things that are just not quite making you feel energized enough, again, to take this leap out of the nest. I think that the second week of September can be a really good place to start a new lifestyle where you're gaining back energy, you're gaining back clarity and sharpness, because I also feel that September 2016, like a year ago, was when you lost it. That's an interesting thing. I think that you are feeling very clear and a lot of clarity throughout, like, maybe all of 2016, and then really traumatic events happened in August, maybe of 2016, or maybe throughout the summer for you guys, which caused your health to really kind of like fall down just because you were vibrating at such a low energetic level. And then you just sort of sense, maybe like this is the year anniversary marking that, where you've kind of lost your vibrance, you're feeling like sallow, your hair is just kind of limp and lifeless, and you're just feeling kind of like down. And I feel that Scorpio is also going through this, so this could be for some of you like Libra Scorpio cuspers as well. And I'll probably mention some of this in Scorpio's video. But the second week of September is a very strong energizing point for you, where you can start to gain back that clarity and you can implement the necessary steps to become healthy once more. So that would be nice. And preparing yourself to take a leap of faith, because here's the thing, Libras, I haven't gotten here yet, but the fourth week, the leap of faith happens one way or another. The change happens one way or another, and you have a period of time in September to build it in a way that you prefer, and because it's going to happen one way or another, and it could be a lot more uncomfortable. So be prepared. In the third week, 7 of Wands rooted down by 3 of Cups reversed. A lot of this is what triggers and catalyzes the departure coming in the fourth week and the huge universal thing happening. And it's weird because it might feel like nothing really happens here, but it is potential for like confrontations and conflicts for those of you in relationships especially. But to me, what it feels more like is a dullness, or it feels like you're on guard expecting all this opposition or all of this stimulation, even if it's negative, and maybe nothing really happens. There could be a lot of plans with platonic friends, or really just like time filler type of things that fall through. Or maybe you're around all of these people who have really inspired you in the past, and you're like toasting and you're having some kind of celebration, and you realize that you're not at all stimulated in any way. And it's very like, I don't know, it makes me feel like an explosive type of energy that's formed within you, where these things that are really small and subtle and feel dull are causing a really huge catalyzed energy within you to sort of erupt in sort of a Scorpio type of way. And it's interesting because we will be going into your time of the year at the end of this month, which will then be followed by Scorpio energy. And that's sort of what the Libra transition into Scorpio is all about. It's a dullness and an inanimate type of energy that erupts into life and emotional driven capacity as we transition from Libra to Scorpio. So I feel that that's happening to a lot of you, and I feel that you are evolving in a way to where you become less inspired by small, unimportant things, because Libra can really like that. Libra can really like subtle things, and small actions of kindness can really take you far, but that's changing for at least temporarily, where you need more adventure and you need more action. It would be a good time to surround yourself by like fire signs, by like Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. Maybe less like air signs and earth signs, because I just feel like you need something that's a little bit less dull. Because by the 4th week, you guys are packing your bags, you are leaving. Some of you are going on trips. Some of you are just traveling for business. There is one of the most potent versions of energy for change in location that I've seen in a while. And I just feel it really strongly for you, because that's something that I think you feel will work for taking the dullness out, for, adding color and vibrance back into your life, is maybe changing your surroundings. It is actually a good time to like upsize, like to get a bigger house, a bigger car, bigger things in general, dressing in looser clothing, bigger jewelry. Anything that feels like a size up from what you've been doing in the past is good, because, Jupiter is going into Scorpio during October. And this is sort of the last taste of Jupiter in Libra here in September. So a last little effort to make things bigger, because, Jupiter is the planet of like grandeur. Jupiter is the planet of optimism and expansion and openings and things just expanding and getting bigger. So any kind of attempt to like downsize or to like squeeze into clothes that are too small, anything else that's too small, like making yourself smaller, like through cosmetic surgery, like making your face smaller, or I don't know, anything that makes things contracted or pulls things taut is not such a good energy right now. It can be in the future, but specifically if you've kind of been doing that for a while now, specifically if you've been really trying to like lose the weight, or you've been trying to change the form of your body, or maybe you've tried to downsize, maybe you've tried some kind of minimalistic lifestyle, now is the time to go big. Now is the time to forget it, start filling up with furniture, start getting bigger houses, bigger cars, if it's in your means. But for most of you it will be, or do it in small ways if it's not, to take some financial energy off of it. You can start reading bigger books. You can start, what else? Doing bigger paintings. For those of you who are artistic, you can do like bigger paintings. You can do, if you're composing music, like longer pieces. Anything that finds the idea of expansion. Maybe if you're a songwriter, you write like half a song per 2 weeks, or you demo a song or something, and you usually maybe get 2 or 3 done a month. Now is the time to get like 5 or 10 done in a week. You can do more, quicker, and bigger here, and it doesn't have a financial connotation, but that's usually just the most direct, obvious thing to think of. It's okay to spend more money, but also debt can get bigger here, so debt is not good. Debt is not good with Jupiter energy. So I wouldn't recommend taking out a lot of loans or something that feel unrealistic. But yeah, anything that you can do to feel expansion is good. And it will honor, I think that's honestly what the transition in the 4th week becomes. For some of you, it could be the polar opposite. Like there's not really a lot of middle ground here. A lot of you could be having to downsize or having to minimalize. Like you've had this period of time in Jupiter in Libra where you've been able to have the nicer house, the nicer car, and everything's big and grand, and now you have to choose to downsize. And this could actually not be because you can't afford it, but because you want less. It feels to me that you need to do the opposite. Like if you've lived too big, you need to go a little bit smaller, but still implement expansive ideals in some way. And if you've been small, you need to go bigger, type of thing. Some of you in the 4th week could start with that 6 of Swords rooted down by the World reversed, could start a new relationship and move in with somebody. You could be moving into a bigger house in that way. I often see that with 6 of Swords. Like this can be the type of energy where you meet somebody and you've known them for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're making all these plans to like move in or get engaged. And there's usually some kind of relationship that you have with somebody through pain or through difficulties that gets very catalyzed during this time. And you can really change your entire surroundings. You can like move across the country or across the world for these types of things. And the goal and the aim of this type of energy is to be able to be strong enough to face things and to be able to not sugarcoat the negative energies, and ultimately be able to pull the swords out of the boat, because the swords represented by pain of the past is blocking the holes in the boat and not making it capsize, but ultimately it will. And the shore is right at the close within reach. So it feels that you could just swim to shore and there's no reason to be existing in that painful place, which is just the type of energy that tends to really pull people together and create relationships out of difficult circumstances. So that energy is around you. And again, the goal is always to at least put the pain out there, realize it. Sort of the whole idea of taking the Band-Aid off, like ripping the Band-Aid off so that you can get air to your cut or your wound. Yeah, it's not a good time to just keep Band-Aids. As I see like a lot of bandages, like you're not letting the wound heal because you're trying to over-treat it type of energy. And that reader down by the world reversed, I think that a lot of you are holding very closely your traumas or your difficulties and thinking that you have wisdom off of that and that you're carrying them for that reason. When in reality, you're probably carrying them to have a spectrum. Like if I felt this bad, I'm going to feel this happy by X stimulating event that happens to me. You know, it's that type of thing. But really, really transformative month for you guys. King of Cups is in reverse as your central theme. So, you know, that's why I've been saying you need to have movement or change in surroundings if you can, because it feels to me that your emotional evolution gets halted by the same old type of energy. Allow yourself to experience the emotions, but don't let them overtake you is always a King of Cups type of ideal in the upright. Not using emotions to manipulate, that could be a problem, and not allowing others to manipulate you with your emotions are good ideals for this energy as well. And ultimately just allowing yourself to have the confirmation of new exciting cycles happening. I'm really looking forward for that for your energy. Anyway, you guys, it's been a really wonderful reading for me. I have a lot of new amazing content coming out at the end and the rest of this year, so I will be looking forward to delivering that to you. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, I would so appreciate your subscribe. You can always unsubscribe later if you don't like my content, but it's just nice to see how much love and support it is creating within these videos. So please subscribe if you have not, and you can hit the bell to the right of the subscribe button to be notified when I upload. Also, if you would like to book a private reading, it should be on the center of the screen right now. Your likes and comments keep me going, and I enjoy reading for you guys so much. I will talk to you soon. Bye.